Hi. It is so nice to see all lovely smiles all around. Some people going, what is that guy doing up there? Because they haven't been here before. So. Not going to go there. Just not going to go there. We have a guest speaker today, before I go any further. And we love this gentleman. He... We also have eggs in the back. And you know, and even though the eggs are free, and Debbie's own chickens lay them, she doesn't lay them, her chickens lay them.
Oh yeah.
It would be nice if someone gave her a little bit of money though when we take eggs from her. It would be really nice. I know she donates them, but it would be nice if she got something for them. We definitely have egg cartons for her, so that's a cool thing. But you know, I don't have anything else I want to say.
Good.
Here's Christopher.
All right, first things first. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
From the bottom of my heart. When I was in the hospital, Phil and Janice had visited me over the Memorial Day weekend, and most of you probably know I had a nosebleed, and it kind of got a little crazy, and so they stuck me in there and almost gave me blood and all that wonderful stuff. And afterwards, they called me, a couple of days after, I think, called me up and Phil says, hey, want to meet us for coffee? I said, sure. So I met him for coffee, and we're sitting there, and they took an envelope and they pushed it across the table.
Oh, an envelope.
Yeah. From you guys.
Awesome.
Actually, let me rephrase that. From you gentlemen and wonderful ladies. And in it was the money for my wife and I to go to Mexico for a trip that I had talked to Phil about just in passing. And I cried.
Can't tell me anything.
I truly cried. And I have told several people, actually I tell everybody I know when I get the chance, and every time I tell them I tend to cry a little bit more. So I don't know if I can truly express to you in words, because I don't think there are words to really express how I feel towards all of you. It truly is a blessing to be here. It's truly a blessing to share my spirit with your spirit. Namaste. Speaking of people who have subscribed to our YouTube, my cousin who lives in Connecticut also subscribes and watches our services. So could we give a shout out to my cousin Paul? Awesome. We love you, man. All right. You know, that Sunday, I was, the Memorial Day weekend, I was going to come in and talk, and well, I didn't have the strength to really kind of get around that day. I feel really good now, doing really well. I just keep on keeping on, you know, I don't think I'm going to stop. Though every once in a while I go, all right, God, look, if you're done with me, I'm ready to go. If you still want me to do something, okay, I'll do it. Well, here I am.
We need more.
I have a very dear friend that I was in a commune with many, many, many years ago, and she had passed away recently, and I forgot what it was that she had. And I remember another friend who was with her at the time said she came came out into the kitchen and she said, "Oh God, I'm still here." So I wanted to talk to you that Sunday about a monkey, and I think I'm going to talk to you about it this Sunday. But before I want to talk about monkeys, I want to talk about an owl. And it was early in the morning, twilight, if you will. And it's just a normal day like any other day, maybe a day like today. An owl was returning to his perch. After, a night of what owls do. And, owls generally go out exploring and studying and thinking, because that's what owls do. And he landed on his perch, and he got, if you ever watch an owl coming in, they're beautiful, their wings, and they kind of do one of these things, and they settle down. Well, as the owl had settled down, he noticed coming through the mist and the tall grass was a hunter. And the hunter was creeping along, and he came until he got to this great big tree. And when he got to that tree, he placed a glass jar down next to the tree. And he tied it to the tree. There was a root that came out of the tree, and he tied the glass jar to the root. And then he looked around, and the hunter's being really quiet the whole time this is going on. And he looked around, he didn't see anything. He reached into his pocket, and he put something into the glass jar, and he snuck off into the mist, into the tall grass. And it got really, really quiet again. So the owl thought that was rather strange, because owls look at things, and they wonder about things, and they think about things, and they're pretty wise birds. And it got quiet. And the owl was just about ready to go to sleep when all of a sudden he heard all of this commotion. And it was, "Let me go, I gotta get loose, let me go. Oh, I'm caught, I'll never get loose, I'm trapped for life, oh me, oh my, oh me, oh my." It was a monkey. And the owl looked down, and there was a monkey. And the monkey was running this way and running that way, and his hand was stuck in this glass jar, and he's running like this, and he's running like that, and he's going, let me go, I'm stuck, I'll never get loose. And so the owl flew down on a branch that was really close to where the monkey was, and he looked, like owls do, and he thought about it. And he said, it was a glass jar. And the owl said to the monkey, he said, monkey, if you let go of those nuts that you have in your hand, because in the glass jar were nuts, monkey's favorite nuts. If you let go of those nuts that are in your hand, you can get loose. Because he had made a fist and he couldn't pull it back out. So monkey looked at the owl and he says, "But they're my nuts. I found them. They're mine. I found them, and I'm not going to let anybody else have them. I want them right now. And the owl went, "No one's going to take your nuts, monkey. But if you want to get loose, you have to let go of the nuts." "Oh, but this jar has got me. I'm trapped for life. But okay." And the monkey let go of the nuts, and he pulled his hand out. And the monkey goes, "Oh, I'm free. Oh, this is wonderful. Thank you, owl. Thank you. I'm free. How can I ever repay you? Thank you." And the owl said, "Well, not a problem." And the monkey goes, "But I want the nuts." And he stuck his hand back in the jar. And he goes, tries to pull it out again. I'm trapped, I'll never get loose, I'm trapped for life, oh help me, oh no. And Owl just kind of went, like owls do. And he said, Monkey, if you let go of the nuts, you can take the jar, turn it upside down, and all the nuts will come out. So Monkey looks around this way, and he looks around this way, looks up into the tree, looks behind him, because there's always somebody behind you, right? Gotta look behind you. And he lets go of the nuts, takes the jar, turns it up, and all the nuts fall out on the ground. There were more nuts on the ground than any one monkey could eat in any one time. So Monkey tried to pick up as many nuts as he possibly could, and he ate as many as he possibly could, and he couldn't pick up all of the nuts, and every time he picked some up, some would fall, and he picked some up, some would fall, and he got really frustrated. He goes, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And the owl said, well, Monkey, there's a lot of nuts here. Would you mind sharing some with me? And Monkey goes, no, they're my nuts. I found them. They're mine. They're mine. I'm going to eat them all. I want them right now. I'm going to eat them all. And so the owl said, well, Monkey, I think the best thing you could do, if you want all of the nuts, put them back in the jar. So Monkey puts them all back in the jar. And he says, there you have the jar, you have all of the nuts. And Monkey goes, thank you, Owl, thank you, Owl. And Monkey picks up the jar, and he starts to up the tree. Well, he only got so far, and of course the jar is tied to the root that's coming out of the tree. And as the monkey went running up the tree, the line went taut, and it boom, dropped Monkey down on the ground, and he hit the ground with a thud, and he goes, oh, you lied to me. And the owl said, I didn't lie to you, Monkey. He says, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And the owl said, I don't know, Monkey. He said, but you know, those nuts look really, really good. And Monkey goes, they're my nuts. I found them. I'm keeping them. I'm going to eat them all. And he put his hand in the jar. And the owl stood there, and he cocked his head this way, and he cocked his head that way, and then he looked right at Monkey, and he said, you know, Monkey, I don't think it's the jar that's keeping you trapped. And with those words, the owl spread his wings, and he flew off. Now, I like this story because what's keeping us trapped? What is it that we don't want to let go of? Be it emotionally, or mentally, or physically. What do we hold on to? Our titles, our positions at work. Are we a manager? Are we a clerk? Are we a doctor? A policeman? What titles do we hold on to? What do we have struggles with letting go of? All titles. Parent, father, mother, brother, sister. What titles do we have to hold on to? What do we attribute to those titles? That's just the title part. What do we attribute to our emotions? What fears do we hold on to? What joys do we hold on to? What are the things that we can't let go of? And if we do let go of them, how long can we let go of them before we have to put our hands back in the jar and grab them again? Now, I think it's very significant in this story when the monkey picks up the jar and tries to run off with it. Because sometimes we get these flashes of insight. Sometimes we get these real flashes of, I got it. I get it. I know what I should be doing. It's making sense to me. And we've let go of everything. We pulled our hand out of the jar. And then we take off and we pick the jar up and take it with us. And that jar only lets you go so far. You know, that little string that's on there is only so long. And it pulls us right back. Now, I'm not exempt from this. So as I'm talking about this, I'm talking to me too, okay? I'm not exempt from this. I do it all the time. But it's being aware of the fact, and it's very significant too in this story, that it's a glass jar. When I first heard this story years ago, it was like a gourd that they used that. And they actually do that. That's how they capture the monkeys. But with a glass jar, you can see what your issue is if you look. If you look, you can see what you're holding on to. The owl, you know, stories are wonderful because we all kind of make them our own, even though I'm giving you the words. Every single one of you see this differently. If I was to ask you how to describe the owl or the tree, we would have a lot of different descriptions. But the message is still the same. So the owl, for me, is that inner voice. That true voice. The one that always speaks truth to me. That I don't always listen to. But it always speaks truth. I know if I'm going to step in a pile of stuff. I know if I should do something or not. I know it before I do it. I've always known it. It's really easy to pretend I don't know it. It just depends on how much I want to do it. You know, when we tell the little one, don't touch that stove, it's hot. Generally, they touch it at least once. It's just part of what we do. It's part of what we do. So what are we holding on to? What do you hold on to? What are you struggling with? Can you let it go? If you can let it go, then you can take the next thing and you can let that go. And I don't expect you to walk out of here this morning after I'm talking to you about this to be able to go, well, Christopher said I could just let go of everything and I'm fine. If I could bottle that, we'd all be millionaires, okay? I wish it can work like that, but typically it doesn't. We hear a message over and over and over and over again, and it's like my Tai Chi instructor will say, you know, he says, as you're learning the form, it's like a record, but you take the groove, you're putting a groove in that record, so that groove gets ingrained, and each time it goes around, it gets in a little more and a little more until it becomes who you really are, because that is who you really are. And then after a while, when I first started doing the form, I sat there, I'm never going to learn this, and now I don't even think about it. Now I think about other things. I think about my breath, and I think, because I know the form. When I first started, how am I going to get this? And I struggled. And any time we first learn something or anything that we already know and we know we're struggling, we're going to struggle a little bit. It's just how things go. Every seed that grows in the ground struggles. And we take the Hermetic principle, as it is above, so shall it be below. And we can look at that struggle and say, well, that also applies to me. And it's a tremendous, tremendous amount of effort that a little teeny seed has to go through to push a root down into the hard, packed earth, and then push this really tender little shoot of green through the hard, packed earth so it can be in the light. And if you really look at things when they're first coming up, they're very delicate. Extremely delicate. We're no different. When we're getting something new and when we're starting to break out, we're really coming into the light, we're delicate. It's sensitive. It's a very, 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 very delicate process. But at the same time, it's extremely strong. And the courage that it takes to be able to break through all of that is huge. It's huge. Every Sunday you come here, every time you talk with anyone about anything that has to do with your true core, your inner self, your growth, going into the light, you think of yourself as that little shoot, and that takes courage, it takes strength, and it takes fortitude to come through that ground and to be. To be here on this planet is a chore. This is not easy. And we signed up for it. We said, yeah, we'll do it. I think one of the things we tend to not want to think about, I talk about the fact we're one all the time. The truth of the matter is we really are one. We really are God. We don't like to say that. We're afraid to say that. It's one of those things we can't let go of. It's a taboo. There is only God. There isn't anything else. We're all part of it. But we tend to separate ourselves from it. Please don't. You're magnificent, beautiful, light beings, part of something that is beyond words and beyond description. That's what you are. You can be nothing else. You can be nothing else. So truly embrace who you are. Embrace your light. Embrace your struggles. Because we will. We signed up for that. Okay? We said we can come here. We can do that. We can take this planet and go through the evolution that this planet is going through. Because it's alive too. It's part too. It's part of it too. There's nothing excluded. Nobody missed the bus. So to speak. Okay? No one's missed the bus. Everything. Yeah? Everything is included. We're all in it together. We're all in it together. So when you're driving down the street and you're in traffic and you got that person that's right on your butt, want to get by, you can feel all that heavy energy, or you're in a job situation and there's this person that comes in and goes, oh, I can't work with this person anymore. Huh? Sound familiar? Guess what? It's you. It's you. That's part of the lesson. What we struggle with makes us grow. You're really struggling with a person? Bless them. They're there for a reason. They said, hey, I can help that person. How are you going to do it? Oh, watch me. And guess what? There are people that we do that to. We didn't know we did it. I walked away. Oh, really? I did that? Sorry. Didn't know. But that's the reality of it. And that's the joy of it. And that's the love of it. And that's the experience of it. And those of us that gather here, wow. I love you all. I love you all. So I'd like to have a guided meditation led by Miss Janice this morning. So I'm going to give you some time. I'm done.